Breaking news: what the developments in Ukraine could mean for the halt of North Korea's human rights violations. In May 2023, during his visit to The Hague, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky demanded the creation of a unique hybrid court to investigate and hold Russian President Vladimir Putin to account for his aggression. The establishment of this kind of court is currently being considered by the United Nations General Assembly. As an example, there is the Hague-based International Criminal Court, ICC, which was established with the express purpose of prosecuting specific individuals for transnational crimes. However, the court lacks the authority to prosecute Putin for the aggressive crime since it requires Russia's approval to do so. Thus, the International Criminal Court could only issue an arrest warrant for the war crime of unlawful deportation of children and not for the crime of waging war against Ukraine. With the growing demands from the international community and the United Nations to bring North Korea's leader and regime to justice for crimes against humanity, these discussions at the General Assembly could significantly impact the situation there. Human rights abuses, amounting to crimes against humanity, are occurring in North Korea, according to the 2014 United Nations Commission of Inquiry on Human Rights in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK. The Commission report listed several human rights violations, including those pertaining to food insecurity, torture and inhuman treatment, arbitrary detention, discrimination, freedom of speech, right to life, freedom of movement, and enforced disappearances, including abductions and foreign nationals. In December 2014, the UN Security Council first discussed North Korea's human rights situation based on this report. Some member states backed the referral of the case to the ICC for additional investigation. But in the years that followed, as the Trump administration initiated talks with Kim Jong-un, leader of North Korea, through a series of summit meetings, the talks stalled. Additionally, Russia and China have persistently opposed the United Nations Security Council's (UNSC) plan to openly discuss North Korea's human rights violations as an agenda item, claiming that the UNSC is not the proper venue for such discussions and that they would only serve to heighten tensions on the Korean Peninsula. More than 60 nations voiced their support for bringing North Korea's human rights record back to the forefront during an open session of the United Nations Security Council in June 2023. The forced repatriation of North Korean defectors and other human rights issues should be addressed at the UN Security Council, according to the United States and the Republic of Korea, because of the close relationship between the North Korean nuclear issue and these other issues. Human rights in North Korea are an essential component of any solution to the problem of maintaining world peace and security, and the Republic of Korea has stressed that the regime there should face legal consequences for its crimes against humanity at the hands of the International Criminal Court or other appropriate bodies. According to Elizabeth Salmon, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in the DPRK, human rights in the DPRK are worsening, particularly as a result of the long border closures caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Salmon emphasized that member states should seek accountability through both international and domestic means. So, the United Nations and the rest of the international community are putting more and more pressure on the DPRK to fix its human rights crisis. Some are even calling for a unique court to punish those responsible. However, owing to Russia and China's veto power, the United Nations Security Council is not likely to approve a resolution referring the human rights situation to the ICC, as was the case in Ukraine.